you guys and welcome you all to this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that little b-roll or intro, but either way, today I'm going to be doing a little review of the Sony a6300 with the 18 to 105mm lens, and I'm actually really hyped to start this review, so let's just go ahead and get right into it. Starting off, I just like to talk a little bit of the build quality, because I think that's super important in a camera, that it actually feels nice and sturdy in your hands. But in case you guys, this is all magnesium, like, here, look at this. But yeah, this is completely like full magnesium, like, and this, except for this grip here, the handle, this is actually kind of rubbery. It's actually really comfortable and gives you a really nice strong grip. Another thing I want to show you guys is the LCD, which can kind of lift out, you know, in all sorts of angles. It does feel a little flimsy, but overall I don't think anything is gonna happen to it, really, honestly. On the other hand, what does feel a little flimsy is the flash over here, but I don't think there are really gonna be any major problems with it down the road. I think it should be just fine. Now, the next point, I would like to talk a little bit of its video performance. So this beast over here can handle 1080 120 FPS as well as 4K 30, but after a little bit it does overheat a little bit, meaning around an hour. But if you lift the flap, like the screen over here, you can get a little bit more usage time, because you can see this exposes, I guess, the underneath, which lets it dissipate heat much faster and easier. And what's also really important for video is the autofocus in this. This has 425 phasing autofocus points, which is pretty nice. And it also has 169 contrast detecting autofocus points. So this should be really quite nice when it comes to autofocus. And this is also nice in case you're into sports photography, because it also has live target tracking, so you can kind of track whatever you're looking at, which is honestly really quite nice. So now that we've kind of got the basic video information out of the way, we can talk a little bit about photography. Now this is 24 megapixel CMOS APS-C sensor, which is pretty nice. You know, I'm not actually going to take the lens off because I don't want it to get dusty or anything. But you know, it is not full frame, it's APS-C, but you know, that is absolutely a-okay. So this actually has pretty interesting specs, because the ISO can go up to 51,200, which is really nice and high, which should make it really good for photography in the dark. I'll actually put one up on the screen right now I took. And this was basically in, it was pretty dark, and you can also see the dynamic range is also pretty good. Now this was taken with the 18 to 105mm lens, not the stock lens like the kit lens. This was shot at f4, which is actually, I mean, like, it would have been more ideal with like f2.0, but this lens can only go down to f4.0. And also, as I may have mentioned earlier, this can actually track your targets, which is really nice for sports photography, and it has a pretty nice feature where it can actually recognize someone's eyes, which is really nice for portrait photos. It's not as good for sports, but it's really nice for portrait photos, especially if actually you're using like a lens with which I'm recording right now. It's an f1.8 lens, which I might put in here, but I don't think so, because this is actually a really nice general lens. And I would like to talk about this lens a little bit right here, you know, just grab the opportunity. So first of all, I'd like to say this is an around almost 6 times zoom lens, which is, I mean, that's a decent amount of zoom. Also, what's really nice is that the shot is always super clear, super clean. I'm really honestly happy with the lens. And it's got this little slider thing over here, which you can use to focus smoothly, or you can, you know, just use the ring over here to focus, which is, I guess, much less smooth. The only really complaint I have with this lens is, like, Like, look at it. It's basically bigger than the body. I mean, that is not gonna help. And actually, when I try to put it on the tripod, which I'm using right now, the tripod has kind of like a configurable like thingy where you can tilt it like in every direction, and it constantly just tilts forward because the lenses are so incredibly heavy. Also, I almost forgot to mention in the video part is that this has like a little hot shoe over here, which can be used to attach extra flash or microphone. I personally use a microphone on this because, I mean, the internal mic isn't really good. It's decent, but it's nothing really crazy special. Also, we should probably talk about I/O. I'm not gonna be able to get this super close. Probably don't see, but it has a micro USB, a micro HDMI, and it has a microphone input, which is really nice because the 6000 doesn't actually have one, but this one does. Also, I'd like to talk a little bit about battery life, because a lot of people say the battery life is really bad on this, and I'm gonna actually disagree here. I'm not saying the battery life is great, but if you have like 2 batteries, you should be fine for the day. Which, I mean, you're not gonna last on one, but I mean, you can just, like, if you're just shooting photos once in a while for like an hour, a battery is plenty for that. In case you plan to get this, get a fast SD card, because if you're planning to shoot 4K or 1080 120 FPS, then it does write to your card at 100 megabits per second, which is actually pretty insane. Now, next I'd like to talk about the menu system, if it will focus in here. But I mean, I don't know if you guys can tell from this, but the menu system is absolute chaos. Like, you guys aren't gonna find anything in here unless you spend like a lot of time with it. But it's actually not that bad because you have basically access to anything you could ever want. And a nice thing is that there you have this function button, which brings up this quick menu over here, which allows you to tweak lots of functions really quickly, and you can actually customize this menu, which is also really nice. And it has a programmable C2 and C1 button over here, so you can set it to any function you actually want. And up here we have this little scroll wheel. If it'll focus, I'm not sure. Come on, focus. There we go. It's a pretty standard one. You know, you can change shutter speed, you can change aperture. There's auto, there's panorama, there's manual, there's movie recording mode, which you never use because there's a movie recording button right here on the side, which you can activate in every single mode. So I mean, you're never gonna be using the movie mode. Just like, let's be absolutely honest here. So just to, I guess, wrap things up, I'm really happy with this. Obviously this isn't like a very thorough review. This is, I guess, first impressions. But this is really nice. I do have some complaints. Here on the side, you know, it's got these thingies onto which you can put your straps onto. And these are just like constantly like jumping around and they're making this weird noise, which is really annoying. The viewfinder is a bit too sensitive, so if like I'm filming right here at this level, it sometimes switches to the viewfinder and then I can see nothing on like the tilt screen over here, which is a bit annoying, but you know, you can just get absolutely used to it. It's fine. What's kind of annoying is the SD card slot is on the bottom. But I mean, it's not really a big deal. It's just a very tiny thing. Another thing that's kind of whack is this has no in-body image stabilization. I mean, at $800, I think it should have one, but you know, it's okay because the lens has image stabilization, so it's fine, I guess, but it would be a really nice addition to add it. Alright, and to wrap it up, is it worth buying this in 2019? Actually, it's really weird to say it's 2019, but it is 2019. I'm filming this on January the 4th, so it's just like, wow, it's 2019 already. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's 2019. Is it worth grabbing? I think if you're into photography and also videography, I think this is a really nice combination, I guess. As long as it doesn't bother that it's APS-C, I think you've basically got anything you'd ever want on this. I mean, the viewfinder can go up to 120 Hertz. There's actually quite a few lenses that are supported. It's E-mount, so there's actually quite a few lenses. There's lots of accessories for the hot shoe mount. The battery life is halfway decent. It's also got Wi-Fi and NFC, so you can transfer photos very quickly to your phone. Now, I haven't tried this, but I don't believe you can transfer like 4K videos on your phone. I haven't tried that, just I don't think you can. But that's absolutely fine. So overall, this camera is really nice. I really like it. I'm really happy with it. I absolutely am, and I can recommend this to anybody who's into videography and photography as well. If you're just into one or the other, I can't suggest it because it's just so good at both of them. You know, you're just gonna want to do both of them after seeing this little monster. It's really a lot of fun, and I absolutely enjoy using it. Either way, if you guys like this video and this new type of video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and see you guys next one. Peace out.